Hello, this is our show where we talk about the cultural growth of the world. Today, we're talking about the disability rights, correct?
Yep.
All right. So, the disability rights movement continues to work hard for equal rights, always has been. Organizations by and for people with disabilities have existed ever since the 1800s. However, they exploded in popularity around the 1900s. The League of Physically Handicapped, organized in the 1930s, fought for employment during the Great Depression. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, so a long time ago, they wanted to get their rights, transferring from hospitalization to society, and they really fought hard for their rights.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
So I feel like they had a lot of rights, such as like the civil rights law with Brown and Board education to help like with school rights and stuff like that for the disabled children that weren't getting the same education or the same chances as like other kids.
Right, and Brown versus Board was when schools in the mid 1900s, 1940s started desegregating schools, and that's when disabled people started standing up for themselves and they wanted rights as well.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, says here that the civil rights laws such as Brown versus Board of Education, its decision that schools segregation is unconstitutional, lay the groundwork to recognize the rights for people with disabilities. That's what I have right here. So, it's only fair that everybody deserves equal rights for what they want. In several sections of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act, which specifically address disability discrimination, are especially important in the disability rights movement. So, in 1973, they started the Rehabilitation Act, right? So, they wanted to address disability, just all discrimination against people who had not had it fair in the disability world. So a couple sections in this would be, section 501, 503, 504, 508. What is 501, section 501?
501 supports the disabilities in the federal workplace and organizations receiving federal tax dollars.
Okay, yeah. So they want to be able to work for tax dollars.
Yeah.
They want to have jobs that can pay equally so they can create their own homes, their own families, so they can survive in this society and live the American dream just like everybody else. I'd say that's pretty fair. They fought pretty hard for that one, and that one is very fair, and I'd fight for that one too. In section 503, it requires affirmative action, which supports employment and education for members of traditionally disadvantaged minority groups. So, people with disabilities who also might be minorities wanted to fight for, to be able to work and get education so that they can, pursue what they want to pursue. I'd say that's pretty good. In section 504 prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities in the workplace and their programs and activities.
Yeah.
So, could be sports, could be teams, union. Just people with disabilities wanted to prove that they have just as much of a right to live, work, and participate in those type of things with the same rights, because they can obviously do so, and they wanted to live their own life. You want to tell them about 508?
508 guarantees equal, comparable access to technology, information, and data for people with disabilities.
Okay, so technological information and data for people with disabilities. So, meaning like people who, what would you say by technological information?
So I'd say that's kind of more like when it comes to like kind of computer stuff or people that like they don't have the ability to do as much of that stuff, they still can like have people that help them out with it or do stuff with it.
Right, so just access in general, meaning like public libraries, anything within that kind of region of computers, which they can get education and they can get work done through white collar jobs just as much as anybody else can. They just wanted to prove that they could. Right. So, besides those sections, in the 1975 Education for All Handicapped Children Act guaranteed children with disabilities the right to public education. So in 1975, when mentally and physically handicapped students, they wanted to join public schools.
Yeah.
Here we go to Yorkville High School. We have one of the biggest special needs programs in the state, believe it or not. And it is only fair for people with disabilities to participate in school and, truly get the experience and the education that they truly deserve to survive in this economy now today.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
So like I feel like how our high school also helps out with that. They'll go and like kind of teach them like other just like daily life things to like learn how to do like when it comes to like cleaning laundry, simple tasks or stuff like that, or like vacuuming kind of stuff like that. They'll go help out and do stuff like that.
So they can contribute in their household, so they can go out and participate in the world and just truly make a difference in society, which was 100 years ago, which was the point, to be able to participate and make a difference themselves so they can truly experience the world the way they want to experience it.
Yeah.
So everybody has an equal chance for everything. A group of individuals with disabilities headed for the Capitol a long time ago. They tossed aside their wheelchairs, walkers, and crutches and ascended the steps. This event has since become known as the Capitol Crawl by dragging themselves up the stairs. These protesters expressed their daily struggles due to physical barriers.
Yeah.
And this is why today we have walking ramps and things like that so everybody can get where they need to go. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that plays a big part in things because, like, especially schools, like when you got 2 stories, they now have like elevators for like the kids that can't climb upstairs, or
Absolutely. Yep.
even like going to some of the buildings, like at libraries, stuff like that. They'll have ramps for people that are like in wheelchairs or have a disability of some sort to still be able to go to those kind of places.
Right. It's only fair, and they fought truly hard, and what they did was very brave to show the government that they deserve rights too. They deserve rights to get into these Capitol buildings and experience the things they want to experience, and they have access to it, because some people just don't have the opportunity to walk and truly experience things the way that we do. Overall, in general, how do you feel about the bravery and the struggles of people who fought for the rights of disabilities?
I feel like they had to do a lot to fight for their rights, and that they were able to achieve these things, because we see now in like our daily lives all the things that have been changed for them.
Absolutely.
To be able to do everything that like we can do on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think a long time ago people were treated not fair, and they were treated as not truly people who can make a difference like everybody else can. And now in today's world, we have people with special abilities all over the place who are making a difference in this world, and it truly just makes the world more equal and less segregated due to what these people did. And it's very brave.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad on what happened to some of these people, but I think in today's world it came back to make a difference, and I think equality is a very big thing in this world, and it really came back to everybody's equal and everybody can make a difference. So that was our talk on the disability culture and growth in the early 1900s. Hope you enjoy. Again, this is our show where we talk about the cultural differences of the world, and that was our thought for today. Any other thoughts you have?
No, I'm good.
All right, see you guys next time.